Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report. I am your host, Tommy. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe and hit that thumbs up. All right, you guys, today I want to be going over Josh Allen, the love, the hate, the man who saved Buffalo. Um, you guys, listen, man, I've never um, had a player on any team that I liked. Football, basketball, baseball, even boxing, MMA, stuff like that. Just in general, not even that I like, just all around that gets love, but yet still receives a lot of hate. Um, and it's so weird because Josh Allen is the guy that should be loved completely, to be honest with you. A guy that busted his ass to get to this point, um, and to be a top 10 player in the whole NFL. And the fact that there's still these people out there hating, um, it's just, it's crazy to me because, you know, he's a guy that you want to tell your kids about a guy who nobody wanted, who worked his ass off to get, like I said, where he is today, runner up an MVP, a franchise quarterback to a team that hasn't had a quarterback, a franchise quarterback, in the last 22 years. 22 years. We haven't had a starting quarterback that played more than 4 seasons up until Josh Allen this season. Jim Kelly was the last quarterback of the Buffalo Bills who played more than 3 seasons, right? And we all know Jim Kelly was a warrior. He was with us for a very long time. But after that, you guys, 22 years, we didn't have a starting quarterback more than 3 seasons. I believe EJ Manuel was 3 seasons, and Ryan Fitzpatrick was 3 seasons. That was it. And then there was a couple quarterbacks that lasted 2 seasons, 1 season. 22 years of that, you guys. 22. Now, maybe some of you guys don't know the heartache of going back in time, because maybe you're a younger fan right now. I've been a fan of the Buffalo Bills since 1989, when we lost to Cincinnati in the playoffs, and I was been a diehard fan ever since. So I know the struggles, I know the ups and the downs, and there was a lot of down. 22 years of it. Okay, um, and we finally found our guy, um, who, by the way, was a quarterback that had a lot of criticism coming out of college. Um, and a lot of those critics, to their credit, have changed their mind about Josh Allen. Okay. They speak highly of Josh Allen now. I'll give you an example. Colin Coward. Colin Coward did not like Josh Allen coming out of college. He did not. Um, he was very hard on Josh Allen. He thought his accuracy was a major problem, that he could not fix it. That was one thing that, they always say, that quarterbacks cannot fix their accuracy issues coming out of college. That's who they are, and that's who they will remain. But they didn't know who Josh Allen was. They didn't know the heart that this guy has. They didn't know the work ethic that this guy has to become better. Okay. And Josh Allen has proven that. Now, the haters that remain, and I'll name a few. You guys know who they are: Nick Wright, Dominique Foxworth, Skip Bayless, right? Stephen A. Smith. He's in the middle, but he still kind of hates from time to time. Those are just a few. There is more out there, but they remain on that Josh Allen hate club. And it's just amazing because, like I said, this is kind of like one of those feel good stories in Josh Allen. So, as you guys know, he came from Fireball, California. So a part of California, it's for farmers, right? Probably nobody. I mean, I'm assuming that he might be the only major athlete to come out of Fireball, California. I'd have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure. Um, the guy wrote letter after letter after letter to these colleges trying to get a chance as a walk on, even, and nobody wanted to give him a chance. Nobody. He sent videos. His dad sent videos. Nothing. Nobody wanted to take a chance on Josh Allen. So what did he do? He didn't give up. He went to junior college. He balled out there. He sent his videos. And then finally he got Wyoming. I think it was Wyoming, and it was, I want to say, Eastern Michigan. Gave him an opportunity. He chose Wyoming. Wyoming was a bad school, you guys, and he actually made that college football team a lot better. They didn't have very good players on that team. So Josh Allen, of course, he had a little rough time developing as a quarterback, but he still developed well enough to get noticed by scouts in the NFL for the upcoming draft in 2018. Um, as you guys know, Buffalo, they took their gamble. They drafted him number 7 overall. Okay. Um, and many critics were already on that, saying we should have drafted Josh Rosen, which would have been a total disaster, as you guys know. Okay. Um, let's say Baker Mayfield falls to us or whatever. That would have been a total disaster, as you guys know, because I believe Baker Mayfield, if I'm not mistaken, let's take a look. I'm pretty sure that he was drafted before Josh Allen. Not Baker Mayfield. I'm sorry, Sam Darnold. I meant Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, I believe was. Let's see what pick Sam Darnold was. And by the way, Sam Darnold is already um, has already moved on to another team. So he was pick 3, like I said. Baker Mayfield, as you guys know, is pick 1. Josh Allen already is the best quarterback in the 2018 draft. There's no debating that. There's no debating that. Um, so what happens? Josh Allen comes into 2018. He has a rough season, but it was a very bad Buffalo Bills team with no help, no wide receivers. The offensive line was bad. Nothing really was good on that 2018 team, and he wasn't not projected to start. He was actually supposed to be on the bench. We signed AJ McCarron. Unfortunately, AJ McCarron was so awful, we had to trade him. Brandon Bean was a wizard and got something for him instead of cutting him. And then we went with good old Nathan Peterman. Nathan Peterman was so bad that they had no choice but to start Josh Allen his rookie season, second game. Josh Allen showed up in that third game against Minnesota. We won. We were underdogs. And Josh Allen, though he wasn't perfect, he showed a glimpse of what you is. It showed a little glimpse of what the future will look like with Josh Allen as the starting quarterback. And the season went on, and yes, he had his struggles. There's no doubt about it. But nobody wants to really look at that team. They only want to look at Josh Allen. They only want to point the finger at Josh Allen. Well, they're not Buffalo Bills fans either. Okay. These people that are still haters. Okay. The Nick Wrights, the Dominic Foxworths, all these critics, they don't want to really look at the reality of it and see what that team had, see what the receivers were on that roster. The only guy that's still in the NFL to this date on that roster is Zay Jones. Plays for the Raiders. He doesn't really do much. Okay. He does about as much as he did for us, which is nothing. So he had nobody. And he still did, I feel, okay for what he had to work with. Kind of like a Wyoming football team, if you really look at the roster as far as receiving talent goes. There was nobody there. Our main receiver, Kelvin Benjamin, we winded up cutting. He was so lazy. So he had nobody. He didn't even have a veteran receiver. Okay, nothing. So we go fast forward 2019. What does Josh Allen do? Typical Josh Allen. He gets Jordan Palmer, which I believe he might have had Jordan Palmer, but he continued to work out with Jordan Palmer. He didn't stop from there. He didn't just say, the off season, I'm going to take a break, let my body rest, stay at home. No, he goes out. He works out with Jordan Palmer. He's mastering his craft, right? We signed John Brown. We signed Cole Beasley. A massive improvement. We go from, I believe we were a 6-win team in 2018. 2019, we go from 6 wins to 10. We make the playoffs this second season. We're a 10-win team. We almost beat the Texans in the playoff. Yes, it was a learning, something for him to learn on, and he did. And what does he do? Once again, Josh Allen. He's not satisfied. He doesn't go home. He doesn't just take a break from football. No. He studies the film. He sees what he did wrong. He hires a specialist to correct his mechanics. He still works out with Jordan Palmer, right? We trade for Stephon Diggs. What does he do? He gets on the phone right away with Stephon Diggs. Let's work out. Let's get on the same page here. And they sure did. So 2020 season comes along. Josh Allen throws for over 4,500 yards. Breaks multiple Buffalo Bills franchise records. That was held for years, many, many years. Stephon Diggs, who is a great receiver, never put up the numbers in his career before coming to Buffalo. Nearly 1,500 yards receiving. Led the league in receptions, led the league in yards. Cole Beasley, who's been around for a little bit, never had a 1,000-yard season. He was 50 yards short. I believe he had 950 yards receiving. I think his career high before that was like 700 with Dallas. Why is this? Because Josh Allen makes that team better. Josh Allen corrected his mistakes. He worked on his mechanics. He was able to get those players the ball, and he helped those players become stars. Let's be real. Cole Beasley, for as good as he has been in his career, I don't know if he was ever considered the best slot in the league, or even, let's say, top 5 slot. He's considered the top slot in the league right now. Why is that? Because Josh Allen. That's because Josh Allen. Like I said, Stephon Diggs. He was considered, I believe, a very good receiver. He's considered a great receiver now. Why is that? That's because Josh Allen. Josh Allen is the reason why Stephon Diggs is one of the greatest wide receivers in the NFL right now. Right? Now, look at the rest of the team. We got players like Dawson Knox, who's only getting better. By the way, I'll do a video on him in the future because he's going to get there. Has a lot of critics as well. A lot of the critics are in Buffalo, I want to say, with Dawson Knox, but I'll get to that anyways. But what does Josh do? Dawson struggles, right? His rookie season. Does Josh say, you know what? I don't trust this guy. I'm not going to throw his way. No, man. No. Josh continues to throw Dawson's way. He continues to have faith in Dawson Knox. He wants Dawson to shine, right? He wants everyone to shine. Gabe Davis, everybody. If you're noticing this season, Josh Allen is throwing the ball to everybody. Everybody's getting a piece of the pie, man. And a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL, they don't do that. They have their one guy and that's it, right? Josh is breaking everybody off, and everybody all these receivers, all these tight ends are going to get paid in the future, right? Even if they leave us, right? Because they're going to put up some yards. They're going to look good because of Josh Allen. Now, 2020. Let's go back to 2020. We're a 13-win team. Josh Allen goes from, I believe, a 59% completion percentage rate to 69%, almost 70%. It's, I believe, one of the highest ever from one year to the next. Why is that? That's because Josh Allen went and saw a mechanic, a specialist, work on his mechanics. Like I said, he didn't have to do this. Didn't have to do it. He chose to do this. The Buffalo Bills organization, Brandon Beane, love him to death. Sean McDermott, I love him to death. I'm telling you, I don't think they went and talked to Josh and said you need to go see somebody to correct these mistakes. Right? I know they were aware of it, but I just don't believe that they went and told him, hey, on the off season, I want you to go do this. Josh chose to do this, right? So what happens? Josh comes out in 2020 and balls the fuck out. Everything goes up. Completion percentage, yards, touchdowns, interceptions go down. He is an MVP level quarterback in 2020. No doubt about it. He actually got votes. It wasn't a clean sweep for Rodgers. Okay, Rodgers had an unbelievable season, but Josh Allen had an unbelievable season as well. It, I can argue with the fact that Josh should have won MVP that season. However, he didn't, and that's okay. So the top 100 come out. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me backtrack. So we're 13-3. We get into the playoffs. We go to the AFC Championship game this time around. Now remember, we lost in the wild card game against Houston the year before. This year, in 2020, last year, 2020, we get all the way to the AFC Championship game. And we fall to a good, very good Kansas City team. But what does history tell you? History tells you that Josh Allen is going to watch the video. He's going to correct those mistakes. He went probably to the off season. He continued to work. He continued to see Jordan Palmer and probably more specialists, who knows, to master his craft at quarterback. Now, top 100 NFL comes out. Remember, last year, top 100 NFL, Josh Allen got into it. I believe he was 96 or something like that, or 89. I believe he was 89. I'm sorry, 89. This year, he cracked the top 10. He was number 10 of every football player. Mind you, this is voted by the NFL players. This is not some vote that fans make, right? Where we can like put him in there. No. This is other NFL players, the top NFL players saying Josh Allen is a top 10 player, not quarterback, player in the whole NFL. And you know what? They are totally right. Josh Allen is a top 10 player. I believe after this season, Josh Allen will be top 5. No doubt in my mind. So we lose to the Chiefs. What do? We make some adjustments. We go and get Emmanuel Sanders for Josh Allen. John Brown, maybe getting a little old, moves on. We release him. We get a veteran in Emmanuel Sanders, 34 years old, on the slightly older side, still has a lot of game, but a lot of critics. Too old, probably not do as much as he used to. Okay, guess what? Josh Allen's never played with Emmanuel Sanders, ever. He only played one preseason game this year. One, week 3. Right? Already, Emmanuel Sanders, week 3, pretty much got 100 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns. He's already had some big throws by Josh Allen to him. So mind you, they're already building a connection, and they've only played 3 games. That's it, 3 games together. And Josh is already finding him. Josh is already getting in a rhythm with Emmanuel Sanders. Now, on to the haters. It's funny to me. Like I said before, I've never seen a player ever in any sport get this kind of hate when all they did was the right things to get where they're supposed to be now. On a player, on a person, let's just say, who started from pretty much the ground up. Josh Allen didn't go to a big school. Josh Allen wasn't highly recruited, right? Josh Allen had to bust his ass to get where he's at, like I said. You would think that these guys, Nick Wright, Dominique Foxworth, they would look back and see what he's done so far to get to this point and look at what he's done, right? Stats wise, record wise, what he's done for an organization that has been terrible for the last 20 something years, that hasn't had a real starting franchise quarterback in 22 seasons up until the point where we drafted him. You would think that they would look now and say, you know what? Hey, I was wrong. You know what? I said this about him coming out of college because that's what he was at that time. And now he's proven to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league because stats, they don't lie. Look what he's done. Look what he's done for the team. Look, he's already gotten a team to the AFC Championship game in his 3rd season at that time. They still want to praise Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield, who both came from bigger colleges, by the way. Baker Mayfield, who was drafted number 1, came to a team that had a bunch of Ferraris and Lamborghinis already in the parking lot. Josh Allen came to a team that had a bunch of Ford Escorts and, bicycles in the parking lot. Right? Big difference. So they want to still praise this guy, Baker Mayfield's, Lamar Jackson's, but they still want to throw the hate on Josh Allen. And there's only one reason. It's because they said what they said. They can't admit that they're wrong. And they want to be so right about what they said about Allen. They're willing to lie on TV. They're willing to just keep up with the hate to make themselves feel better, I guess. But it makes 0 sense to me. It just does because Josh Allen is a feel-good story. Like I said before, this is a story where if you got a son who is struggling, who he has a dream, let's say, to play any position, quarterback, wide receiver, running back, whatever, baseball, who cares, whatever, and he is just trying to find his way. He believes in himself, and he finally gets there. That's an unbelievable story, man. That is unbelievable. And they don't see it like that. And like I said, there is a few that changed their mind about Josh. And I got to give Colin Cowherd a ton of credit. Colin Cowherd was really down on Josh Allen for the longest time. And now Colin absolutely loves Josh Allen. And rightfully so, he should. Because Josh Allen's done nothing but prove to these haters, to these critics, that he could be that guy. And when I say Josh Allen saved Buffalo, he did. The Buffalo Bills were a terrible team for the longest time. Now, listen, we can also thank Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott because they are part of that process. They are the ones that drafted Josh Allen. But Josh Allen, ultimately, he had to uh, be that guy. He had to prove that they were right on drafting him because he it could have went the total opposite way. Josh Allen could have been a bust. He could have been a bad quarterback. He could have been a guy that was just lazy or just didn't have it. Could have been a Nathan Peterman throwing interceptions left and right. Right? Didn't work on his craft in the offseason. He could have just been okay with getting his first contract and be a backup in the future. There's a lot of quarterbacks like that, you guys, a ton that just don't work out or just are lazy and just don't try to make themselves better. So that's the reason why I say Josh saved Buffalo because ultimately, at the end of the day, it was his work ethic, it was his heart, his determination that got him to this point. And listen, man, I've been a fan, like I said, since 1989. I am 43 years old. And I've been waiting for a quarterback since Jim Kelly retired in, I believe, 1996. It's been that long. And I feel so blessed to be a Buffalo Bills fan. And you guys should be blessed as well. And like I said, I don't think the hate is ever going to stop on Josh Allen for some of these people. But I also believe he's getting a lot of love now. And I believe a lot of people are seeing what this kid is all about. And his teammates absolutely love him. And by the way, he's a great person on the field, off the field. He does a lot of charity work. Um, so hey, man, I know this video went on a little long. I appreciate you guys watching. And I just wanted to put this out there, man. All right, you guys, please subscribe. Please hit that thumbs up. Bills Mafia #1. Peace out.